8 centuries ago, the most powerful ruler in history vanished without a trace. Today, we'll explore the enduring mystery of Genghis Khan's tomb, where ancient Mongolian secrets and modern technology collide in history's greatest archaeological puzzle. In the scorching summer of 1227, Genghis Khan was leading a campaign against the Xixia kingdom in modern-day China. Despite being in his mid-60s, the great Khan was still personally commanding his armies when he suddenly fell ill. Some sources suggest he was thrown from his horse, while others point to a mysterious fever. What's fascinating is that even his death became a military strategy. His commanders kept it secret for weeks to prevent chaos in the ranks. They transported his body back to Mongolia in a grand procession, allegedly killing anyone who crossed their path to keep the route hidden. The great Khan's final words remain disputed, but many historians believe he gave specific instructions about his burial, demanding absolute secrecy to protect his final resting place. Think about it. Even in death, Genghis Khan was orchestrating perhaps the greatest disappearing act in history. The burial of Genghis Khan wasn't just a funeral. It was an elaborate military operation designed to create history's most successful cover-up. According to ancient sources, 2,000 soldiers were chosen to carry out the burial, with each step carefully planned to ensure total secrecy. These men first diverted a river to create the burial site, then buried their leader deep underground. After the tomb was complete, they restored the river to its original course, effectively hiding any trace of disturbance. But here's where it gets really interesting. These same soldiers who created the tomb were then reportedly killed by a second group of soldiers, who were themselves then executed to ensure absolute secrecy. The horses used in the funeral procession were also eliminated, leaving no living witness to the tomb's location. While this might sound extreme, it perfectly matches the Mongol belief that their leader should have the same privacy in death as he had in life. Burkhan Khaldun Mountain isn't just any peak in Mongolia. It's literally sacred ground that might hold the key to history's greatest burial mystery. According to Mongol tradition, this was Genghis Khan's spiritual home, the place where he sought refuge as a young man and later declared as holy ground. The mountain rises majestically in the Khenti Range, wrapped in ancient forests and streams that have remained largely untouched for centuries. What makes this location particularly compelling is how it aligns with historical accounts. It's within the forbidden zone that Mongol rulers established after Genghis Khan's death, and local traditions have long whispered that this is where the great Khan returned for his final rest. Modern satellite imagery has revealed hundreds of archaeological sites in the area, but here's the catch. The mountain is so sacred that even today, most research teams aren't allowed to conduct extensive searches there. Let's fast forward to today, where modern technology is giving us exciting new ways to crack this centuries-old mystery. Satellite imaging has revolutionized how we search for the tomb, letting us scan vast areas of Mongolia from space. Scientists have identified over 1,000 potential archaeological sites without even touching the ground. They're looking for anything unusual, geometric patterns, ancient structures, or ground disturbances that might have been missed before. But here's what's really cool. Researchers are now using advanced tools like ground-penetrating radar and magnetometers that can see what's buried underground. They've even employed thermal imaging to detect subtle temperature differences that might indicate buried structures. Despite all this high-tech equipment, though, the tomb remains elusive, proving that sometimes ancient secrets can outsmart even our most advanced technology. Now, let's talk about something that adds another layer of intrigue to our search: the supposed curse protecting Genghis Khan's tomb. Over the centuries, numerous stories have emerged about misfortune striking those who've tried to locate it. During the 1920s, several expeditions faced mysterious setbacks, from sudden illnesses to unexplained equipment failures. A Russian team in 1993 reportedly experienced strange accidents and local resistance that forced them to abandon their search. But here's the fascinating part. These curses might actually be clever deterrents set up by local communities who've been protecting the tomb for generations. Some researchers suggest that these stories were deliberately spread to discourage tomb raiders and preserve the great Khan's final wish for privacy. Whether you believe in curses or not, These tales have certainly helped keep one of history's greatest secrets intact. To truly understand why Genghis Khan's tomb remains hidden, we need to dive into Mongolian cultural beliefs. In Mongol tradition, burial sites weren't just resting places. They were sacred portals between our world and the spirit realm. The Mongols believed that disturbing a leader's grave would unleash chaos on both worlds. This wasn't just superstition, it was a sophisticated way of preserving their heritage. Think about it. While European monarchs built massive monuments to show off their power, the Mongols did the exact opposite. They believed true power lay in remaining hidden and undisturbed. Even today, many Mongolians oppose searching for the tomb, arguing that some mysteries should stay mysteries. It's a beautiful example of how cultural values can protect historical treasures better than any security system. Let's explore some of the wild goose chases that have led treasure hunters astray over the centuries. In 1937, a Japanese expedition claimed they'd found ancient artifacts pointing to the tomb's location. Turns out they were looking at relatively recent Buddhist relics. Then there was the famous Russian map incident of 1965, where a supposed ancient document leading to the tomb was exposed as an elaborate forgery. During the 1990s, several well-funded expeditions followed tips from local legends, only to discover ordinary burial mounds. One particularly amusing case involved a French team that spent months investigating what they thought was an unusual geometric pattern, which satellite imagery later revealed to be a modern sheep pen. These failed attempts show just how tricky separating fact from fiction can be when dealing with such a legendary historical figure. One of the most compelling theories about Genghis Khan's tomb involves an incredible feat of ancient engineering. According to historical accounts, his funeral planners actually rerouted an entire river to create and then hide his burial site. Picture this: thousands of warriors first digging a massive grave, then redirecting a river to flow over it, effectively creating the perfect camouflage. The leading candidate for this location is the Onon River, which holds deep significance in Mongol culture. Modern geological surveys have shown evidence of ancient river course changes, though separating natural shifts from human intervention is tricky. What's particularly fascinating is how this method would have perfectly preserved the tomb. The flowing water would prevent anyone from digging while also washing away any surface traces of the burial. Let's dive into the cutting-edge research that's bringing us closer than ever to solving this ancient mystery. Recent LiDAR scanning has revealed intriguing patterns near Burkhan Khaldun Mountain, showing what could be man-made structures hidden beneath centuries of soil. Scientists have identified several promising sites using a combination of archaeological techniques, from soil composition analysis that matches the historical period to magnetic surveys, revealing large metal deposits consistent with burial artifacts. A groundbreaking study in 2019 discovered traces of 13th century Mongol activity in an area that perfectly matches historical descriptions of the burial procession route. The most exciting development comes from new geological dating methods that have helped narrow down the search area to a 60-square-mile region, where the soil composition suggests major earth-moving activity during the exact time of Genghis Khan's death. Let's consider what discovering Genghis Khan's tomb would mean for our understanding of Asian history. Beyond just locating a burial site, this discovery would be like finding a time capsule from one of history's most influential periods. Inside, we might find priceless artifacts that could reveal unknown aspects of Mongol culture, military technology, and trade connections. DNA analysis could finally settle debates about Genghis Khan's origins and help us understand the genetic legacy he left across Asia. But here's the real kicker. Finding the tomb would also force us to confront challenging questions about cultural heritage. Should we disturb a site that Mongolians consider sacred? Would the scientific value outweigh centuries of traditional beliefs? These questions make the search about more than just archaeology. It's about balancing modern curiosity with ancient wisdom. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey through one of history's greatest mysteries. If you enjoyed unraveling the secrets of Genghis Khan's tomb, hit that like button and subscribe for more historical mysteries. Share this video to keep the discussion alive.